Hey guys, it's EJ with Blockpad, and in this video we're looking at page numbers and page number options. So first, to show page numbers in your document, you're going to use headers or footers. To do that, you'll go to Right, and then Header and Footer. And here I'm just going to go in the top right, and I'll click Insert, Page Number, type in slash, then Insert Page Count, and click OK. And now when I do that, I've got the page number and the page count up here in the top right. So this is just a really basic header. You can do more even with the basic header and footer. So I can go to right and header and footer. For example, I could type in page here or my name in the top left and click OK. And then that's going to be there in my header. You could also create a custom header complete with your company logo and a table of information about the file, and of course, the page number and the page count. But for the purpose of this video, we're just looking at page number and page count, so I'm going to press Control Z to undo that. So here in this report, because I only have one page and I'm on the first page, I have page 1 out of 1. Now down here I have some extra text, and if I press enter until that goes onto a second page, then my page count is going to update to 2, and my page number is going to be 2 here, and up here it's going to be 1. So rather intuitively, the page number and page count will update as your document changes. Now there's a number of page number options. To look at those, we'll go up here to Right and Page Numbers. And now in this window, I can edit the page number options for the report that I'm in. So there's a few options here. Down here we'll cover later with spreadsheets and notebooks. And I'll point out you can change the pattern to, for example, ABC, and that's going to change. But I'm going to undo that and go up to Right Page Numbers again. There's also this checkbox at the bottom, apply to all frames in the whole file, and you can use that to apply any settings you change here to the entire file and not just this report. But probably the most important option here is this checkbox, try to continue from previous frame. But to talk about that, I'm actually going to exit out of this. So if you use Blockpad, you're probably familiar with top-level frames, which can be found over here, and these work a lot like sheets in a conventional spreadsheet, except they can also be reports or notebooks or drawings. Now, by default, each of these frames are going to start over with their page numbers at 1, and the page count is just going to include the number of pages in that frame. So here in this report, I'm starting at 1, and then I go down to 2, and you see that's my page count. Also, in the strain gauge calculations, I'm starting at 1 again, and then I just have 3 pages. However, we can change that behavior by changing that page number property we looked at earlier. So I'll go to Right and Page Numbers, and now I'm going to check this box, Try to Continue from Previous Frame, and then I'll click OK. When I do that, two things happen. First, you'll see my page number here change to 3, which is just continuing from the last page of that previous frame. Second, the page count on both of those frames is now updated to be the total page count for them together. So here, even though my last page here is 2, my page count is 5, because if I go to my strain gauge page, then I can scroll down and you'll see my total count here is 5. And this also updates. So if I come down here to the bottom of the page and press enter, then now I get 6 out of 6. And back at transient conduction, that page count is 6 as well. And we can keep this going. So I can go to my fatigue report and go to Right and Page Numbers and check this box. And if I wanted to apply this to the whole file, I could press the checkbox down at the bottom. But in this case, I just want this report, so I'll click OK. And now, not only is my page number continuing from that last 6, but pages in this report are also included in that total page count. And so my transient conduction, strain gauge, and fatigue examples are all now treated as one continuous page number group. And I want to point out that this property really enables you to take advantage of top-level frames for organization while being able to treat them as a continuous document. So just as a small example, I have this file here, and I have beam 1 at the top, and I scroll down, I have beam 2, which I'm just putting on a new page using the page break property. And then I also have beam 3 here. And this is just in one report. I have my 3 separate beams and I have my pages, page 1 out of 3. But I also have the option to set these up as separate top-level frames. So here I have this beam 1 report and it's just one page. And my beam 2 report and it's just one page. But you see my page number and page count can be treated the same exact way as that last example. And now, in this very particular case, it might actually make more sense to just have that single report since it's relatively simple. But you can imagine that if each of these beams were much more complex and I had a lot of calculations, it might actually be simpler to have them in these top-level frames. But moving on, let's go back to our original file. So next, I want to talk about spreadsheets and notebooks and page numbers. And both of these frames are going to be treated basically the same when it comes to page numbers. So here I have this metal prop spreadsheet. And by default, this is the view you get where you can't really see the separate pages. To see how the pages are actually set up, we will go to View and toggle this Collapse Margins option. And now I can see how the pages are set up for this spreadsheet. If I adjust this column D, then that's going to go back over to that page. You can see how that's going to be printed. You can also see if I go to Properties and change the page size. So for example, if I change this to be a landscape orientation and click OK, that's also reflected in this view. To display the page number here, we're going to go to header and footer again and just do the same thing. Insert page number / page count and click OK. When you do that, I get the page number and count up here in the top right. Now to talk about that, I have this second spreadsheet here with a little more content. I'll go to View and toggle off Collapse Margins. And in this one, I already have my header set to page number and page count. To expand the view a little bit, I'll turn off the Properties window. So by default, page numbers in spreadsheets are going to number them horizontally. So every horizontal page is just going to be treated as one page in the page numbering system. So this is all 1, this is all 2, this is all 3, and so on. To change that, we'll go to Right and Page Numbers, and we'll use these options down here. So for example, I can select Down then Over, and that's going to start at 1 in the top left, and then go down to 2, 3, and then continue there from the right. I can also set it to be over, then down, and click OK. That's going to go left to right, then down, and left to right, sort of the inverse of that last option. And for both of these options, these page numbers and page count are going to look at the bottommost and the rightmost content in the spreadsheet. So to illustrate that, I'll select these cells and press Ctrl C to copy them. If I come down here and paste, you'll see now that I get 5, 6, 7, 8. Even though there's no content in this page, it's going to be included in the page numbering and page count. Similarly, if I go over and up and paste into here, then now my page count is going to be 12, which is going to be this one right here. So even though all of these pages are empty, it's going to be included in that count. Just to further illustrate that, I'll paste this content down here, and now everything to the left and everything above it is going to be included in the page number and count, even though they're empty. Now this can be important to note if you are continuing the page numbering for this frame. So for example, if I come over here to report to and I select write and page numbers, click this box and click OK, then this page count and page number are looking at that bottom right page. And if I go back over here, you'll see, well, my page count's updated to also include that report page. But this is where the page numbering is going to continue from. So one more option up here, we'll go to write and page numbers. I also have this additional number option where I can choose a special sequence. So for example, I can choose 1A, 1B, 1C. I'll click OK. And when I do that, that's going to be similar to that default option where every horizontal page is treated as page 1, similarly with 2, and so on. The difference, though, is that going left to right, we have this sequence added on to those pages. So 1A, 1B, 1C, and so on. But then when I do that, my page count is just going to be that first number in that sequence. So my page count here is 5 and not 20. And that's what's going to be continued in my next frame. Now, like I said earlier, spreadsheets and notebooks are going to be pretty much the same when it comes to page numbers. If I want to see the page layout in notebooks, then I'm going to go to View and toggle Collapse Margins here, and I see the page layout. The page count is going to be determined by where the content is in the notebook, just like in spreadsheets, and all of those same down and over, etc. options apply to notebooks the same way they apply to spreadsheets. For that matter, those options are also going to apply to reports if content ever spills over to the right. So for example, if I put a table in here that has 20 columns, then that's going to spill over to the right. By default, that's just going to be treated as the same page number, but you can change those options that we talked about for spreadsheets to be down then over or over then down, and so on. And that's all I've got for you guys today on page numbers. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thank you.